Well, the day that plenty of you have been waiting for has actually come. Ronald Koeman has been sacked. He has been fired from his duties as Barcelona head coach. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here and welcome back to another episode of Unscripted, and of course this one is going to be a big one. Ronald Koeman has been sacked as Barcelona manager, and well, we have to react to that. I have to admit that I thought that this was gonna come sooner. I really thought. You have heard that in plenty of our live streams. I have mentioned how I believe that the decision on Koeman was already taken ages ago. And it feels that, well, that was sort of the case. Barcelona were just waiting on a replacement, and that is where I want to come to first. If you believe that this means that Barcelona will have an interim coach or something by those lines, yeah, it may happen. It may come sooner. We'll have somebody just take up control, but in the long term, I feel that this is a sacking that Laporta knows needs to happen because he's finally going to put a man that he trusts at the helm. And I believe that it doesn't matter which the name is going to be. I just feel that it matters that Laporta cares about this manager, because I believe that is the first thing that you need when you're trying to rebuild a club. You need to know that there's support from the board, and you need to know there's actually support from the dressing room. If your board never supports the manager, akin to what happened with Laporta not supporting Koeman, that is going to be a very bad thing. But thankfully now we at least know that it doesn't matter the name who's going to be coming in. We're gonna be seeing at least someone that Laporta will support. But I know that that is not what you care right now. You care about Ronald Koeman sacking, and well, I guess that it finally needed to happen. I made a video before where we talk about all of the reasons, where we talk about Ronald Koeman's, well, must sack, and it happened. So go watch that video if you want more reasons, but and more in depth as well. But I guess that just seeing the relationship and the kind of ill-advised comments that he has made really made it so that Koeman has lost complete dressing room, because he's taking more control about his own, and he's defending his own back. He's defending himself and not really defending the institution that he represents. And I feel that's a very big mistake. When we take a look at what a manager needs to do, is to stand in front of the line of fire. He needs to protect whatever he's building. And Koeman, one, knows that he's building absolute shit, because he says it consistently. He says that he cannot build anything with the player that he has, and he needs patience and all of that. And all of those comments never really help him at all. It doesn't really help him to build up a good image of being confident in his position. And most importantly, está salvando su propio pellejo, how I like to say in Spanish. And that is that basically Koeman is just trying to protect himself from all of the criticism that's going to be coming through the media. The problem is that Koeman has made it personal, and Koeman, by made it personal, is already losing a lot of what the polls would say that is a good manager. That a manager that sort of belongs at a club, he doesn't have that sense of belonging anymore, because he's distanced himself from the club itself. Something that, of course, I want to remind you guys is that I believe that no matter the manager, depending on who was going to take the messy fallout, he was always gonna pay. And I feel that Koeman made himself the perfect scapegoat for a lot of Barcelona fans, because I feel that a lot of us never really understood or grasped the impact or fall from grace that it would mean not to have one of the best players out there. I feel that, of course, this could have been diminished, and that is where I put a lot of blame on the manager. You as a manager, you as a coach, you as someone that take control of the players, you need to act in full responsibility of trying to diminish the impact of someone as Lionel Messi leaving actually was going to create. And of course, it was never gonna be easy, because Barcelona never had the financial tools to be able to save a manager in that position. So I believe that now, seeing the situation, I think there's more good to be done now that Koeman could be gone. Koeman, if he leaves, makes more sense for someone like a new manager to take over, and we can really start anew. Because Koeman was there before in the pre-Messi era or the Messi era, and now with the post-Messi era, we need a new face. We need somebody else with new ideas, someone that can actually understand a little bit of how we can make a newer team. And the thing, of course, of it all is that he's no longer tied or bound to those discrepancies, to those limitations that were going to be the financial situation of Barcelona on top of Messi leaving the club. I thought that when we expected Messi to leave, he was going to leave through the front door. He was going to leave with a very big ceremony and a lot of people cheering his name in the stadium. COVID-19 made it a very difficult situation. Added on top of that, like I said, the financial struggles, and then the utter, well, crap responsibility of the manager by not really cementing a proper sporting project. And we find ourselves in a solution that, well, the best thing will be to see the manager depart. I believe that now, if you take into account what somebody else can bring in, I'm just happy that we're making this refresh. And the other thing is that his message is not really closing in on the players, and I think that is a very big reason as to why he was sacked. When you take a look at what players demand of themselves, they're asking for a lot more. They're asking to try and compete in the Champions League. They're asking to compete in La Liga, which I understand that it may be hard to you in the UCL, but in La Liga, with the squad that they've got, Barcelona really are not that bad. They're not far down behind what a Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid can produce, and certainly it's not someone like Sevilla as well. When you really think about what this team can provide, in La Liga, they really should be higher up, and I feel that is a place where Koeman has not really cemented, and his message is very much different to that of the players. If he believes in his mind that he cannot take this team any further, then it was the right decision to let him go, because it means that the ambition of this manager is not matching that of the club and the players. And that is the very first place where I believe that the new manager should really think that he can do something special with the squad that he's gotten. What do you think about the possible solution, the possible replacements? Well, I'm not really happy, or I'm not really excited about any of them. When you take a look at Pirlo, for instance, he may be a little bit inexperienced, and he's sort of the mold of what Laporta would be seeking for. If you take a look at Rijkaard, when Rijkaard took over, for instance, back in 2003, Rijkaard actually came from a sabbatical year relegating beforehand a team to the second division in the Eredivisie. So that is not a good track record. Pirlo, in all due respect to Rijkaard, had a better track record at that point. So it makes a lot of sense. I think that Laporta is backing just one horse and he wants to see it through. And I respect that decision. If Pirlo comes in, there is no reason for me to be excited. There really isn't. But who knows? That's the thing. Who knows? It would just be an incredible incognito, like Rijkaard in the very first time he came in. So I feel that, of course, will be some place where we need to improve, but I just don't know. When we take a look at, let's say, Roberto Martinez, Bob Martinez, I just feel it will be more of the same. More of what Koeman, Valverde are sort of coming from. Managers that are in the middle of their careers, they haven't really achieved that much, but achieving somewhat. And they're just trying to back themselves on one philosophy, but they will soon concave a little bit because they don't have that experienced track record at the biggest of games. And as players themselves, they don't really show that sort of intimidation that you need to control a dressing room. I feel that Roberto Martinez will just be more of the same. Like I say, it will be just a monotonous appointment and not really much improvement. Thomas Tuchel is another name that's been thrown out there, and that's completely impossible. I'm not even gonna question that as well. When we take a look at Xavi, of course, plenty of you are gonna be asking for his name, but I just feel that, yeah, for instance, personally, I think that would be the right decision. I would take Xavi, I would appoint him. But when we think about what Laporta may be actually going through his head, Xavi is kind of like the last option. If you get Xavi in and it doesn't work out, then what the hell do? You run out of options. That was like your ace under the sleeve. You pull it out and there's nothing else to do. And I know that a lot of people are going to be saying, but Xavi's the one that a lot of the fans will be backing and they will be really hoping him to do good. And he will get the time to perform to his best of his abilities. And I get that. But when you take a look at previous examples like Pirlo, like Lampard, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, there's always going to be halves in the fan base that are gonna be saying, well, he's not experienced enough, we should have gotten a better manager. And that is also gonna create turmoil. Just look at Arteta, for instance, and Arsenal right now. He's just even getting a slide of his team, but they have had to they have had to really fall out of Europe completely. And now there's a new competition, in fact, and they've even out of that as well. So that is where I kind of want to come through, guys. I feel that Xavi would just be very risky, and I'll be waiting for a new moment for him to take it. I think he's a very, very intelligent man, and he will take this decision when he thinks it will be the best for him to do so. And right now, that's certainly not it. So I wouldn't be telling Laporta to seek Xavi. I will be waiting for Xavi to seek for Barcelona. Whenever Xavi wants to manage Barcelona, I know Laporta is going to pick up the phone. But right now, if Xavi doesn't do so, it's because one, he also feels that he's not ready, or perhaps the moment is just not. That's gonna be everything for right now, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. It's been a difficult era. It's really been a difficult era to try and do content for you guys. But this is Barcelona, really, and I feel that my love for the club goes further and beyond what any manager and what anything can happen. I see that some of you are unsubscribing because of, well, I don't know how shit the team is. And I get that, but I hope that in the future we can see ourselves again, and this team, this club will pull through. Just wait, guys, just wait, because I know in the near future things are gonna be way better. See you in the next one, guys. Take care, and certainly, ciao ciao.